Hey, I'm Dr. Isaac Jones, and today we're going to be talking about the 3 P's of predictably growing your naturopathic business. I'm here with
Isaac Hamilton Jones II. I like to draw and I like to work with my dad, and my dad will take it off from here.
Awesome, man. Thanks, brother.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm going to be talking specifically to the naturopaths out there about how should I market? How can I increase leads? How can I improve my reputation, my brand in the community? I mean, this is a question that a lot of doctors have, and fortunately, this is a question that comes up regularly when I'm in conversations with all the naturopaths that I've served over the years to build massive empires and businesses. So I know that you might be unsure of a few things when it comes to marketing and growth. And I really can't wait to get to the 3 Ps because I've really invested a lot of time and effort into developing these different systems. Really creating a predictable model for profit is a challenge that I think a lot of naturopaths are unsure of. At least when I get on calls with them, they don't have that predictability, and that's a big theme that I hear about. Like, I don't know how to drive a certain amount of people into my office every single week or month. I don't know necessarily how to convert them predictably, etc. Another one is that when you're seeing essentially patients, you're not working on your business. So you've got ultimately 2 jobs as a naturopath, and they don't teach us this in school. You're an entrepreneur, right? As well as a doctor. So we need to embrace both sides, being the entrepreneur, being the business person, which is what I want to continue to educate you on and deliver amazing information to you. So you have to learn how to run your business, obviously work on your business, but also in your business, which is something that you're an expert in. Another thing that you're not sure of is essentially not figuring out a way to get what you are worth, right? As a doctor, we've learned so much great information. The naturopaths that I've talked with ultimately want to grow their business. They want naturopathic practice growth and business growth, but the challenge is they don't necessarily know how to get and deliver all of the all of the revenue that they deserve to get because of the value that they're actually delivering. And the comment I've got from a naturopath just recently is, I feel like a chicken with my head cut off, right? I feel like a chicken with my head cut off. Like I'm running around and I'm not able to actually do the things I want to do because I'm just going from one place to another, etc. And so it doesn't allow for you to build the systems to allow for you to really grow smoothly and build your business in a way that is automated and systematized and is really able to scale and is able to bring you talented individuals and A players that will help you ultimately automate and systematize your business. This is what I've done in brick and mortar, and also I have done this in my virtual practice and my virtual business as well. So, we've learned so much in school about, what we need to do. But again, we don't necessarily know how to engage, create amazing wows and purple cows and experiences, as they say in marketing terms. But I want to get to the 3 things that ultimately will help you drive revenue as a naturopathic physician, and ultimately build naturopathic business growth, right? Because that's what this is all about, naturopathic business growth. And there are 3 Ps. And here is the 3 Ps that you've probably heard from, what is that one I think it's called The Prophet, right? Which is this show on TV. And Peter McLean talks about the 3 Ps, right? The 3 Ps are people, process, and profit. And I want to get into the specific things and elements in the people, the process, and the profit so that you can understand how you can implement this to help your naturopathic business growth to a place where you can even get to scale, which is not something that you hear a lot of doctors talk about, but it's something that's really important to understand. And as a chiropractor, we do in our industry really well is sales and marketing and growing and scaling our businesses. And it's not something necessarily that a lot of naturopathic doctors know about, which is why they learn a lot from us. And I've seen with the naturopathic doctors that grow their business the fastest, they have a mastery of their art of helping people, but then they start to embrace the 3 Ps. So the 3 Ps is people. People is essentially leading a high-performing team that aligns with your vision and mission, that are playing to their strengths inside your business. Again, I'll say it so to really hit home kind of the definitions. It's the people, which is leading a high-performing team that aligns with your vision and mission, that are playing to their strengths inside of your business. Okay, so there are 3 really big elements of the people piece, and ultimately they're behind your vision and they want to accomplish what you see. So they're vision driven, right? They also help drive automated systems. So the people are driving automation. And this is how I've been able to scale and build multi-million-dollar businesses, because we have people that are driving automations that ultimately multiply, maybe dozens, if not hundreds of actual people that I'd have to hire because of the system automations that we have access to right now. And then the third thing around people is that they are committed to leadership and growth. And ultimately that comes down to who you're being. Who are you showing up as a leader to help drive that leadership and growth? Because as a leader will ultimately multiply other leaders, and that's one of your goals. Number 2 is process. And so this is a system for predictable sales and results. Like, this is transformative results with your health participants, my word for patients, that can eventually be automated, right? So inside of process, right, there is creating your signature process that transforms people's lives. This is a signature process that helps you stand apart from the rest of the people that you're serving. And number 2 is it delivers results with your patient experience framework that drives what I call wows and purple cows, right? So you've probably heard those terms in marketing, blue ocean, etc., marketing strategies, but what can you do to stand out? What can you do to be a purple cow? What can you do to drive wows? And we take a lot of what we've learned from 5-star experiences at different resorts and retreat centers that I've personally been to, as well as investing hundreds of thousands of dollars into customer experience coaching and frameworks. I actually hired Joey Coleman, who wrote the book, Never Lose a Customer Again. But ultimately, you want as part of your process, this patient experience framework that is so powerful to drive those wows and purple cows. And ultimately, this can be very efficient. Your process can be very efficient. Driving the patient experience can be very efficient. And it also can be automated, which we'll talk about in a future video. And then obviously part of your process is scaling up. We want to duplicate your activities. And Elena Villanueva is a perfect doctor who is brought her whole business virtual. She's built a virtual practice because as a doctor, she's like, I don't necessarily need to be seeing patients and doing all the functional labs and the functional health testing and all the functional health care that I'm doing in my brick and mortar practice. Why don't I scale virtually? And what's been so cool to see as she's scaled up and really mastered the 3 Ps is she has been able to ultimately create this scaling by hiring new people and then adding on automated residual income generating assets, which is something that I'll talk about in the profit section. So how you doing, brother? Good. So profit is the third, and it's all about income generating systems and structures that create automated predictable profit. And ultimately, the first thing is you want to drive and convert leads. This is the first step to driving profit. Drive and convert leads. I've got so much more content that I'll be coming out with in the future around this. Number 2 is structured revenue models to maximize profit to serve more clients better, which is so important. Structured revenue models. I've done so much education and research into all of that over the years. So are you structuring your revenue, or do you just have one revenue model, right? And then the number 3 thing around profit is when you structure your revenue properly, you can reinvest your time and your systems into residual income generating assets. And so this is very important way to that naturopathic businesses can grow. When you have people in place, when you have your process in place, and when you have your profit driven, you can create your increase in income, impact, and freedom. But if you don't have your people, your process, and your profit, there's a lack of freedom. There's a lack of income. There's a lack of impact. And so ultimately what this does is, if you want to be a health expert that we're all about, and be that health expert that ultimately impacts the world for the better and in the long run, right? That lives beyond the time that you're here on this earth. You ultimately want to embrace these 3 elements that we will be talking more and more about within the Health Experts Alliance content. So if you like the content on this video, definitely share it with some other people. We'd love for you to do that. Also punch the subscribe button so you can get notified for more videos that we have similar to this in the future. Is there anything else you want to say, Isaac, to them before we go?
Yeah. So Daddy is a great doctor, and let's give him a huge hand.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Appreciate you, man.
And we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.